To become an EU aid volunteer is probably something really wonderful, which many people would like to do. But to do this, many different organizations are needed to make it work. Here today, I have the three actors to make a good voluntary service. George Ciprian, you volunteer today. You come from Romania. Hello and welcome. You need, of course, on the other side, somebody hosting the volunteers. And I have with me Terence Walters. Hello and welcome. And hello. To your right, somebody also to organize all the machinery and send the volunteer to the right place and organize everything in the background, which is a hell of a job indeed. And I welcome here Davide Miozzo. Welcome to you. So, first question to you, Davide. What do you care about the most when organizing all this before you send the people where they have to go?
Well, first thing that we always took into account in our project was to try to have as much as possible on board both the volunteers, but in particular the hosting organizations. It is a job that cannot be done without their point of view, so we needed to draw a roadmap, a common roadmap to decide activities, priorities, and we had to change our view. In the beginning, we thought of a project in a different way, but after talking, actually Mr. Walters came to the kickoff meeting, participated with us to that meeting, and we had to change a number of things because our perception from this part of the world was not totally different, but slightly different. So we had to adjust many things.
Terence, you're responsible, you're from Grenada, and you were asking for people to join you. What were you looking for especially there? And just to remember that you had about more than 20 volunteers working with you at the end.
Well, again, when you're hosting volunteers, you want to ensure that what they bring to you is specifically what you need. So there needs to be a discussion. You need to know who is coming, what the skill set, what strengths they come with, strengths, weaknesses, and what they can bring to your organization where you are.
George, did you know about all this when starting the project? Did you know all the machine in the background? Did you have contacts in a way with Davide, or did you have contacts directly with Terence?
At the beginning, I don't know with who I was talking with, but they give us information. I mean, when they send the first email that they need volunteers, they give us information about what we are supposed to do there, that we can get involved in different teams.
Davide, I suppose there are many different people who would like to work with you. How do you deal with it?
Well, first of all, we had to go through a process of selection of the volunteers. So we opened a call for the volunteers, to which George, for example, answered with specific TORs. And
so it is not the European Commission dealing with this call, it's your organization.
We organized it, then we publicized it on the European Commission website. After that, we did need to choose the volunteers, so we had to select them because we got a number of requests.
So it's certainly not easy. How do you look at it? What are the components where you said this is positive,
this is where the hosting organization comes in, because we had to ask them what kind of what are your requirements. So we understood quite at the beginning that we were looking for volunteer management, persons with a profile of volunteer management. So we analyzed the curriculums and chose as much as possible the persons who could fit it. But from there, many things changed. Luckily, volunteers have a very big sense of adaptation. So that was the strength of the project.
Was there a need for it? I saw you laughing, Terence. So could you give us an example of this kind of adaptation you need somewhere, and then we'll listen to George if he has something to say about it.
Well, again, you know, the volunteers may think that they're coming to you to do some sort of training in a particular area. And then when you discuss it, you realize, well, that area we don't specifically need that area, so then you need to change because remember it's in the Caribbean and it's Europe, so we're different, we're exposed to different hazards and all of that. So there are things that you need to take into consideration when you're going into a different region, a different country, and all of that. So definitely we had to discuss and say, well, okay, these are the things that we need. So you may probably think about flooding, but we may think about hurricanes or landslides, or different things. So yes, things like
George,
that.
did you have to adapt a lot when you arrived there?
In the first day, I didn't find my place right there because everyone talking, okay, I've been there, I've done that. I've been there, I've done that. And me, I was the youngest, and in my opinion, I was the most, I had the lack of experience. And the next day, Davide, I think, he came to me and he told me, "Hey, George, you have one of the biggest jobs on this project." And I was told that he was kidding me or something. But he told me that I'm responsible of the youth part. And somehow that will have to adapt because I didn't thought that I was going to be responsible for the whole area by myself. And after that, it was easy to adapt to this problem.
Okay, follow up on that question, Davide. Does this mean you are also with them, with the volunteers all the time? Were you in Grenada to organize all this too?
Well, we accompanied the volunteers, yes. There was a number of staff members. Our project was quite different from the others that I've heard about, as we were there only for short deployments.
But on the other side, Terence, it's certainly complicated to make a choice also on the project. Certainly, it's not a shopping list you have in front of you. So you have to organize what people need. What is your work before all these starts?
We discussed some of the needs while the team was in Grenada. We were doing the inspection of emergency shelters. So they participated in that and realized that there are some things that they can assist us with. So things like that occurred, things that you didn't expect.
Let's go for the final round with all of you. It was a pilot project. What would you recommend for the future? What should maybe be improved?
First of all, and we were lucky with this, always think and design your roadmap with hosting organization, always. We don't have a lot of time, so volunteers have to go there and they need to know what they have to do, what the context is. And think about sustainability, always. We are there for a limited amount of time, but we are spending quite a huge amount of resources on these activities. We don't want those activities to stop.
There is a need for follow-up afterwards.
Absolutely. We were lucky.
Okay. Terence, how do you see the future of this project? Do you want it to continue? Is there still a need in Grenada for EU8?
Oh, definitely. And we were able to get quite a lot out of this, a lot of publicity and a lot of, in terms of training. And so one of the things that one of the good things that came out of this is that the project helped to influence the government to provide 2 additional staff members, recognizing the need for additional support at the agency. It brought a lot of benefits to the organization, but we need to continue that effort.
George, will you continue in this field, or was that it? How do you see the future?
I will go in Grenada anytime. There's no problem. Yes, I would like to get more involved. Maybe I will not have the chance to go back in Grenada, but maybe in the future projects I can get involved and go somewhere else where I can be helpful.
Okay, so thank you to all of you to join us today. Bye-bye.